Hello again, this is Stephen. Do you remember the last time I stood here? I made a short video about how to make a self-watering planter from a recycled plastic bottle. Who would have thought that would have nearly 40,000 views in such a short period of time? But anyway, today I wanted to show you how also to save more money by making your own garden wormery. It's really easy to do and it's very cheap if you do it this way. Now, what I recommend that you don't do is buy one of these, which you'll find on the internet at extortionate prices. Just one of these layers is about £40, and you don't actually get much room between the layers for your wormery to be effective and to build up much compost. You need something like this, something you can just keep adding on and then have 80 litres of compost ready for your garden. So I learnt the hard way because I started off by doing that. It was ineffective, so I did this. I had this bin kicking around anyway. It's an 80 litre bin, black plastic to keep it warm, with a nice fitting lid. And the first thing you'll need really after the bin is just a couple of other bits and pieces. Now, you'll need to make a hole at the bottom here with a drill, but before you do that you must obviously acquire a barrel tap, because you want to drain off any excess liquid and you want to drill the hole exactly the right size to accommodate your barrel tap for a drain off. So I'll do that right now and then come right back to you. Right, here's my barrel tap, all nicely fitted and working, tested, completely leak proof, all ready for a drain tap. So that's practically it, except what you put inside. Well, I suggest you get a garden riddle. Now I'm going to be using this one, which is a metal one, but it's got a sloping side and it's a perfect diameter to put in the bottom of this bin and still leave a gap at the bottom, which will be a chamber, a reservoir for the fluid. You don't want the worms to be sitting in liquid. So I recommend you use one of these, but if you can, of course, get a plastic one. That'll do the job as well, as long as it fits and leaves a gap at least like that at the bottom. It must fit nicely around the edge as you put it in the bottom so that no worms can get down the edge. So this is what I'm going to do. Just fit this in the bottom, and you can see it fits really nicely in there at the bottom, leaving about 4 inches for a reservoir. Right, so now we've got the riddle fitted in the bottom, leaving that gap. You can now fit inside the riddle either a piece of carpet, a couple of layers thick like that, just to make sure that the worms don't go through the riddle into the reservoir, but the liquid obviously will drain through. Or you can just put a piece of polystyrene like this, and the water will find its a way around the edges. So now that's what you've got at the bottom, with the sieve, with the reservoir at the bottom, with a drain tap. And now you're ready to fill it up. What you fill it with is up to you. What you don't need to do is to buy this very expensive worm material at huge prices off the internet. You can use all sorts of things. A little bit of soil, or like me, shredded paper. You don't really want glossy magazines or the plastic from window envelopes. Just ordinary shredded paper, torn up newspaper. In fact, it doesn't have to be shredded. Here's a few old receipts going in there as well. And just put about a good 6 inches in the bottom. See, here's a piece of paper. Doesn't need to be shredded. There we go, there's about 6 or 8 inches in there. That should be enough. And now, of course, you need to put some waste food in. Now, I've been saving up my kitchen waste for the last 3 or 4 days, and I'm just going to tip that in. Another thing you don't ever put into a wormery is anything which is onion related or citrus. So that's any form of onions, any form of onion trimmings, and oranges, lemons, limes, anything like that. They are too acid and too strong. The occasional little piece of onion skin will be fine, but definitely not any onions. Right, after that, a little bit of soil, which I have here. Give it a good mix up and just leave that to stand for 2 or 3 weeks. Keep adding more waste food on the top and just shaking it all up to mix up, and after 2 or 3 weeks you can put your worms in. Now, when it's time to add your worms, you can either buy the voracious tiger worms, which just devour virtually everything very quickly, but they are very expensive. You don't need to do that, but you can if you wish. And these also are great worms for fishing with if you want to go fishing too. What I tend to use is a bit of a mixture. Some tiger worms like these, and ordinary garden worms too, but the garden worms do grow rather large, but all the worms breed very prolifically. The only times you may have problems and lose your entire wormery stock is in a hot summer, because you've got a black bin to keep them warm. They need a nice warm temperature, so you need to really keep them in the shade for the summer periods, and in a very, very hard frost in the winter they need to be kept warm. So stick them in a greenhouse, or at least if you haven't got a greenhouse, get some sort of a immersion boiler jacket just to put around them for the winter, to keep them out of direct cold and to keep a nice warm temperature in there. When you've finished with the wormery and need to empty it, which will take you probably the first time round 18 months to 2 years, and you'll have a barrel that full of really rich, nice compost. Tip it onto a green tarpaulin mat, pick out your worms, and then you can harvest your compost you've made from here to dig into your soil, your bedding plants, your pots, your hanging baskets, or whatever you want. So really, that's the quick, easy and most effective way to make a garden wormery at a fraction of the cost of buying these ridiculous little things, which won't get you anywhere near as much compost as you will if you do it this way. So that's mine already. I'll just leave this now for a couple of weeks just to mature, and then I'll put a few garden worms and just a handful of tiger worms in there, and before you know it you'll have a thriving wormery in here, with the worms so happy and content and breeding like mad they will devour your kitchen waste in no time at all. So just have a quick run through of the things that you do not put in your bin, and that is any cooked food, any onion related waste, includes garlic, and any citrus, and you'll be well away making your own compost every year for nothing. So happy recycling, and if you do take this project up, just let me know how you get on. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do, and I'll catch you later. Thanks for being with me.
Steven is the man with the hat and a video camera, making videos for you cause he's a YouTube creator. Always filming and editing scenes, ready to watch on all your screens. New videos every week, so please subscribe.
Catch you later.